Yo, welcome to another episode of the Breaking Into Tech Sales podcast. In this episode, I've got a client actually who went through our one-on-one sword coaching program, Nate Kennedy. He landed a 130K fully remote tech sales role in just 40 days. And he actually came from an Army background. He was doing some high ticket sales as a closer, but wanted to get married, wanted to buy a house, wanted to get some more stable income. So we got in touch and the Lord provided abundantly and helped this man go land a 130K job in 40 days. So really excited to kind of get into it with him and kind of share his journey, his experiences, and you'll hear it firsthand from him of what it's like to be working with me one-on-one in the SWORD program. And if you're someone who's trying to get into tech sales, hit us up. There's a link below. You can talk to my team to figure out if tech sales is a good fit for you. And if it is, if we can actually be the people that help you get there. And if you're not ready to fully commit, you kind of want to explore a little more first, there's going to be another link below of my free Breaking Into Tech Sales guide that shows you step by step how to start landing interviews, how to crush those interviews, and how to start getting offers. So if that's a more comfortable route right now for you, that resource will be there. But if you're someone who's trying to do this in 40 days, like Nate just did, hit us up. Happy to see if we can help you out. Enjoy the episode. What's up, y'all? We've got Nate Kennedy in the
Yes,
house,
sir.
and this man landed a 130K fully remote role in just 40 days,
100%.
coming from both an Army background and a high ticket sales background. And he's here to tell us all about his experience. So, Nate, welcome, brother.
Jack, thank you so much. Excited to dive into it, man. Yeah, really
Heck yeah.
pumped.
Let's go. So tell us what life was like before Sword. I mentioned Army, I mentioned high ticket. What were you doing and why wasn't that really like the path for you to where you were open to a career change?
100%. Yeah. So I got out of the army like late December of 2023 and basically I was going to college. I had picked up like a high ticket sales role as well. And you know what, at the end of the day, it was okay money, right? And like it was good, but I really needed something a little bit more just for my life and the circumstances I was in. I've told you, obviously, right, like my background and what I was looking to do, but the role I was working was 1099. And although like I'm somebody who has a lot of passion and drive, and I'll put a ton of like effort into whatever I'm doing, that job was not going to allow me to be able to be like approved for a home. It wasn't going to allow me to be able to really accomplish some of the amazing things I wanted in my life. And I really decided, well, I need to make a change. Like I need to figure something out. So I started applying for jobs. And, again, as someone who was in the military for 4 years, I hadn't needed to send like a ton of applications recently, right? I'd sent a few. But dude, I was struggling. Like literally, I was
Mm,
struggling with it. And I would see, you can see like 100 plus applicants apply and all this and that. And I was like, I have a solid resume, I thought, right? Like I have a good military background. I have like sales experience. Like I've been doing it since, the past couple of years and whatnot. Like, why am I not getting any bites? And after
mm,
working with you and realizing, oh my gosh, like there's so many little things that you just miss that you don't understand that goes into the process of what these recruiters are looking for and what these companies are looking for. My mind was completely blown. And, now it's funny, like, even after getting this job, now I have people reaching out to me, asking me about, hey, would you like to hop on an interview and this and that. So a complete 180, a complete shift. And that was all because of you.
mm.
So thank you so much, Jack.
Well, you got to show up and put in the work, man, and you did. So
100%.
I appreciate you being so hungry and coachable. I knew right when we started working together. I'm like, yeah, this dude's legit. He's a stud. You needed the knowledge. That's
100%.
it. Like,
Yep.
how do you actually go change things? What changes, and how do you execute on a process? And that's why you did it so quickly too. I mean, 40 days is no joke,
Yep.
man. It's so cool. We were just talking 40 days ago about like your life goals and hey, I want to get engaged. I want to go buy a house. I want a new job and here we are. All three of those things have happened 40 days later.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, literally a wave of blessings, like, and again, full glory to God. Like he's given me so much and you've helped me so much too. But it was just kind of wild to see, like, after putting that and just kind of stepping into, this process and taking that leap of faith in a sense, right? You never know. You never know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But after, just kind of praying about that and making that decision to really go in on this, I mean, yeah, I think it was wild. Like, I closed on the house, I got engaged, I got the new job, I think all within like a span of 2 weeks. So I was just like, what is happening? Like, God, appreciate
Yeah.
this, but so many blessings at one time. So it was amazing, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, totally different
I
chapter now.
I think we forget that, the Israelites, they were supposed to take a 40-day journey into the promised land, and it became 40 years because of their lack of faith, their lack of obedience. They weren't willing to trust God and obey, but it should have taken 40 days. And so God is the God of acceleration when we're in line with his will, when we're obedient, when we're trusting of him. I'm not surprised this all happened in the span of 2 weeks because you followed him and you were like, all right, God, you got me. Let's go. And then boom, 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 he lines him up, knocks him down. So
Definitely.
he's so good.
Yeah,
He's such a good father.
100%.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear for you. Did you have any like fears or anything you were uncertain about with transitioning from high ticket into tech sales? Is there anything specific highlighted there? And how do you think we handled that in the process?
Yeah, so I would say that's a great question. I think as far as like fears that I had maybe making that transition, again, like, I was making okay money, with 1099 and whatnot, but really, I mean, I was kind of excited to leave that space, if I'm just being direct, right? Like, I knew I wanted more and I wanted something that I could, really dive into and actually give full effort and be compensated for that in a way that I thought was, amazing and fair and all these things, right? Where sometimes it can be a little bit difficult in a space like that. And after getting to this point and seeing like the total switch from where I was before to where I am now and like this new job, it's really a night and day difference. So I would say definitely there's always going to be some like general, worries or concerns about, okay, well, is this really going to be, the best path to take or whatnot? But overall, truly, I was excited to leave. And
Mm.
this was a great door that was opened, right? And, seeing you on my feed, I'd been following you for a little bit. And I think originally I was kind of, and maybe I'm jumping the gun a little, maybe this is a question you
No,
have.
you're good.
Yeah, but I was like following you for I think like a month or a little bit longer, and I originally wanted to like book a call and everything. It just kind of went to the back burner of all the things going on in my life. And then I got to the point where I was like, I really like need to change something, right? Like I really need to go. And then another like ad popped up on my feed, and I was like, okay, I think it's like time for me to dive in, right? So after doing that, jumping into it, and being where I'm at now, I would say even the small concerns and worries and fears, like my return on investment, right, has been exponential. So,
Mm.
hindsight's 2020, right? Looking back, I would have done it 100 times over. I would have done it way faster if I could
Mm.
have realized like and got that through my head. But here we are. So I'm very happy.
Yeah. Talk to me about high ticket because there's a lot of high ticket guys that follow us. They reach out to me. I'm talking to them in DMs and stuff, and they think they want to transition, but they're not entirely sure because it's there's good money in high ticket if you're on a good offer.
Mhm.
What were some of the cons for you that you saw in tech sales were actually like, wait, this is where tech sales is probably an advantage over what I'm currently dealing with?
100%. And that's such a good question too. And for the people watching who are like, "Hey, like, I've been in high tech guys, I've been doing high ticket and like, sales for like a couple of years, a little bit longer than that at this point." And I'll just tell you this, like the night and day difference as far as like stability and as far as working. I mean, the company I work with it's got like 10,000 plus employees. It's an amazing company, great benefits, right? Like a lot of these high ticket closes, you're not getting benefits, you're not getting a W-2. I have both now, right? I have W-2 and commission opportunities to really excel. I thrive in that because you still have some stability, right? But also you have the potential to really work and grow and grind and hit those high numbers as well. So that was such an appeal to me. And sometimes, honestly, in high ticket, like I would be like grinding, dude, like work, work, work all week. and you're just like, man, I feel like I'm putting in so much effort right now, and I'm not really
Mm,
being compensated to the level that I'm putting in, right? So that was kind
mm,
of the kicker for me, with this new role, this new job. It's better than I could have imagined. Really, I mean, 130K OTE is a huge blessing, right?
mm.
And I'm super excited. So that's what I would tell everybody.
That's helpful, and I think even the way you just said that, it made me kind of think what this is really just a more consistent
Yeah,
offer. Like you're going to be on a good offer
100%.
that is proven because it's in the software space, it's in the market, and it's consistent. And that's like the biggest thing as a closer, can you get on a good offer or not?
100%.
But this offer is guaranteed to scale assuming you
Yeah,
perform. You're going to move up in what you're selling. Your average contract value,
definitely.
because you're going to be selling to higher orgs, is going to go up, and so it's just a way more linear, stable path to, build a family on, which is exactly the season of life you're in,
Yeah.
Nate, which is huge.
Yeah,
So
100%, definitely. Yeah, stability is huge, and just the potential to still, put in that work and that effort and to be compensated in a way where you're like, you know what, I feel good about this, right? Like I've put
mhm,
so much into this, and now I'm being rewarded for that, right? So really, really
yeah.
excited for the future.
Yeah, and I would say 95% plus of these tech sales roles, they're uncapped commission. Just for a
Yeah,
listener out there who's like, yeah, but I can only make 130. No, no, no. That's like on
yeah,
target. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's what you make.
100%.
But if you're someone who really wants to grind, you can go make 150, 160. Like that's not out of the question at all.
100%. While not having to worry about like, oh, can I go skiing this week? Oh, I actually have medical insurance with this, right? Like, it's not like
Yeah.
1099 where you're like, should I get on the boat this weekend? No, it's like you actually have so much more stability in a role like this. And don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, I'm very thankful for like the experience I got from,
Mhm.
my 1099 jobs in the past, being able to learn how to speak to people, and really get that sales experience. But I would say this is like the next level, right? Like if you really
Yeah.
want to grow and exceed, this is definitely the next level.
Cool. So you touched on how you got connected to me and to
Yeah.
Sword, which was through Instagram, right? I popped up on your feed
Mhm.
twice. Sometimes it's providence, right? And the Lord is just like prompting on guys. And sometimes it's just chance. But I'm curious, like, why did you ultimately decide to work with me, to invest in me in this program? Because there's a lot of programs out there. There's a lot of people, and especially in the high ticket space, everyone knows there's a lot of like bad programs out there
100%.
that just legitimately are not, you're not going to get what you paid for. So
100%.
for you, like what was that why moment that got you over the fence and to commit?
Yeah, great question too, Jag. And I would say, and again, you mentioned this too, but like sometimes it can be hard, like especially as a 1099, like finding a good role or like finding people who you actually want to work with, right? And all these different things. Because again, there are some great people out there, 100%, and then there are also some people who are not so great, and you just have to have like discernment and know like how to kind of navigate that, and it can't always be easy in the beginning. And basically, what really, really like pulled me towards you and what you were doing was one, your story and your testimony, and the fact that you had such
Mhm.
conviction in your faith. And I, as someone who's a Christian myself and who, has a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, like that really was, very eye-opening because I was like, wow, like he has conviction in this. And then also, the second thing I would say was you had so many testimonials. I forget who it is, if it's Alex, I think it's Alex Hormozy who says it, but it's like something about like having an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you
Yeah.
are. And I was like, wow, he is actually helping people. Like these people are like coming on, like giving, these like interviews and like putting their name on this, right? Like it's working, right? So was very impressed with that, and those were kind of the biggest things that drew me towards this.
That's huge. Yeah, I always tell anyone that's interested, I'm like, yo, you pull up one of our client win videos, I will give you their contact
Yeah,
info. You can reach out to them directly. Like, I don't care because
100%.
I know what we do here. I know the quality of work we're doing.
Yeah,
So I can have that conviction, which is big.
100%. Hit me
So
hit me up if you want. I'll put my number out there. Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions. Jack's been great.
I
So
love
yeah.
it. I love it. What do you tell the dude on the fence then? Like maybe he's in high ticket. Maybe he's like, ah, but it's tech, it's corporate. I don't know. Like he's on the fence. It's expensive, right? Or it's a big time commitment. Is it gonna work? What do you tell that dude on the fence?
100%. I would say just for me in the situation I was in, again, right? I am very analytical and I'm somebody who really likes to dive in and assess all the different, options and hey, does this, and you know what? I would say it's great. Do your research, right? Like do your research. I mean, there's plenty of stuff Jack has out there. Make sure that you're going through and really you understand what this is. But at the same time, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, right? Like there, it is so easy to really. I do wish that I booked a call sooner because I think I kind of like I got a little bit stuck and I put it on the back burner and I was like, okay, then it popped up again, and I really wish I had started earlier because if you're just going to say, okay, well, it could go this way or this way or this way, and then you just get stuck there, you're never going to grow. You're never going to move, right? Like you need to take action at the end of the day if you want things to change. If you don't want things to change, that's okay, right? But at the end of the day, if you want to get to those next levels and you have the information you need to succeed and to move forward, why are you stopping yourself? So that's what I would tell
Mm.
somebody on the fence.
Yeah. Again, going back to the Israelites, leaving
Mhm.
Egypt, they were asking Moses if they could go back because the comfort of being in discomfort, at least being known, living in Egypt as slaves, was better than the discomfort of we don't know what we're getting into, right? And I'm not saying high ticket is Egypt for everyone, right? High ticket's amazing for guys out there, right? So God bless you. Go prosper in that. Spread the gospel through the excellence of your work, but for the guys who do feel that tug of like, is there another path? Can I still go make a bunch of money, but can I do it in a more sustainable way? Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable. Like, I love talking to high ticket guys because y'all are saying the same
Yeah,
stuff to your prospects, trying to get them out of the comfort zone,
100%.
and it's no different. But it's easy to try to push someone outside of their comfort zone. Much harder when it's you,
100%.
right? Because that's where the risk comes in.
Yeah.
So,
100%. And
um,
also, Jack, one other thing too. This is probably like some podcast type answer, but like comfort is the opposite of growth. And I have told so many people that. And for me to sit there and be like, oh man, like I'm making okay money and like my 1099 and like things are okay, but they're not great. Like if I wasn't going to take my own advice and take action, like I don't want to be like that, right? And really, um, I would just again reiterate comfort is the opposite of growth. If you're just so comfortable and that's the only reason you're not moving, like please reassess, pray about that, like try to really say, hey, what do I want for my life? Because that's what I did and this is where I'm at now. So yeah.
yeah, 100%. Give people a sense for what it's actually like in the program working with me one-on-one, right? So maybe coaching style. Like what's something that stuck out to you about actually working with me, maybe your favorite part about that
Yeah,
experience?
this is great because I've worked with coach like as a 1099 like, sales in the past. I've worked with people who some had really good programs, some had okay programs. I'm again, I've seen different programs. You have a phenomenal program. The layout, the support, and it's so thorough. Like, dude, and also you're very quick to respond to, which I love because I'm all about that. I think if something stops communicating, it dies, right? And the fact that
Mm,
you give so much support, dude, I would ask you very like specific, minute questions. Again, analytical, right? I want to make sure everything's like perfect, and sometimes you got to break out of that, but still, you would help me and get me back on the right path. And everything is so structured and laid out so well. If it wasn't like that, I think it would take people so much longer to get into these roles.
yeah.
But you've really built it out in a way where it's extremely efficient to go through. So I love the program. Yeah.
Mm. How much should I pay you to say that?
I'll send you my Stripe after this.
Right. There you go. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
100%.
So outside of landing a 130K role in 40 days, which is like this is why we did this, right? That's the ultimate goal. But outside of that, what's something you're proud of accomplishing through this process?
Yeah, dude, great question. I think I'm really proud of sticking to the process. And again, 40 days, for me, I'm very, very content with that timeline. The fact that I stuck to the process and I went through it and I asked questions and I really did. Again, I like to apply. 100% of what I'm doing to whatever I'm doing in my life, and I really like to give it my full effort and my full, energy to something if I can, right? And I'm proud of the energy I was able to put into this, and the timeline I was able to accomplish that. And yeah, man, I think just I'm also just proud of like taking this step too, right? Like actually
Mhm.
not just like seeing another Instagram, reel and scrolling. I'm proud of like booking the call. And I tell people, hey, look, if you are on the fence, or if you're just like at a point where it's like, okay, well, maybe like I would like to maybe like talk to the team, like book a 15-minute or 30-minute call or whatever, like learn about them, right? Also, Jack's team is great, right? They're very authentic and very helpful as well. So if you just want to learn more, right, take that step like I did, because I'm proud that I did that.
Yeah, yeah. It really does take a client like you though, who's committed, who works hard to get that result. And you were almost so dialed in the process. I had to encourage you a few times, like, Nate, you're crushing it so well right now. I need you to talk to me more. Like, I need to like you're going too fast for me,
So,
man. I got to keep up with
yeah.
you, which is a good problem to have. That's a good client right
Definitely.
there.
Yeah. I think that's funny too, because I always I like I know that that can be like a flaw, honestly a flaw sometimes. I like to be very independent. And the great thing about Jack, right? The great thing about you, Jack, obviously, is that you are very direct and you give great and honest feedback. And dude,
Mm.
I was in the army. We had a lot of blunt conversations, right? The fact that you were so blunt, and you're like, dude, like, come on, like, you're doing great, but like focus on this. I was like, this is what I need, man. Like, I love
Yeah.
that accountability. So that was great. Really, thank you. Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah. 100%, man. Well, as you were talking a second ago, it just hit me that 40 days. And it's like that's how long God said it would take the Israelites to get into the
Yeah.
promised land, 40 days, and you were 40 days. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Didn't even think about
Let's
that too. Like that did not even click until this conversation. This was not pre-planned. Like I did not. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But yeah, he's always working behind the scenes. So not surprised about that at all. But I love that.
he's amazing. Yeah. Let's end kind of on this question here. What advice would you give others? Because there's a lot of people that listen to this who are trying to get into tech sales. Maybe they were applying like you were, no luck. What advice would you give to them that's actually going to help them?
Yeah, 100%. And I would say, as far as advice for, just where they're at in their life, right? If you've identified that you need to make a change, right? And you know that you're not content with where you were at, do the research, make sure that you are really diving in, that you have a good understanding of the route you want to take and where you want to go and what your buy box is, right? What's your end goal? Where do you want to be? And when you're at that point, right, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, like I said before, and just sit there and say, oh gosh, man, I mean, maybe it'll fall into my lap. It's not. You have to take action. You have to. I would, again, right, I would highly recommend finding somebody who is way better at it than you to teach you how to do it, to expedite that process, right? Having a mentor, someone who can answer those difficult questions when you're going through the process, can expedite that and get you to the next level way faster. So again, don't get stuck in analysis process and take action.
Yeah, huge. Well, Nate, I'm so proud of you. This is just the beginning for you, man. I mean, you're getting married later this
Yeah.
year. You're getting a new house, the kitchen,
Yes.
the dream
Yes.
kitchen for the wife.
Love.
Man, I'm so excited for you. So, yeah, this is not goodbye. This is definitely the start of an awesome relationship. So, appreciate you trusting me, man. And yeah, God is good to help us get
He
here.
definitely is, man. And again, he's helped so much, obviously, in this process with everything, and has blessed me tremendously through this process. And also, you have been a great part of that, Jack, and you've helped me so much, obviously, too. And again, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jack. You are the man.